telling a story about Bonnie and Clyde. Hey guys, thank you for dropping by. My name is Gigi and today is story time. This is possibly the most famous and the most romanticized criminals in American history, Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow. In early 1930s crime spree. Sorry, I had to go outside to get some errand, and I decided to bring you guys with me while I'm telling the story. It's actually like interesting story about Bonnie and Clyde. About Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow in early 1930s crime spree. So maybe I need a disclaimer for this. Okay, warning, the following video contains material that may be harmful, traumatizing, or disturbing content. Viewer discretion is advised. Bonnie and Clyde met in Texas in 1930s. You know, the time of the Great Depression, when she was 19 and he was 21. Soon after their meeting, Clyde was arrested for robbery. Though he initially escaped jail with the help of a gun provided by Bonnie, he was rearrested and returned to prison when he remained in until being released on bail in 1932. So, as a boy born into the family of poor farmer, Clyde Bad Barrow's love was music. He actually taught himself to play saxophone and seemed as he might pursue a career in music. They were poor, that the family literally lived in a wagon, then after that to a tent. To fast forward, he got influenced by his brother Buck and a shady family friend. I have to run because the store is closing. One time I went to a pharmacy and they supposed to close at 6. I arrived at 5:50. And then there was this lady saying, sorry, we're closed. And then I was like, no, you're not. I'm sorry, but I had to get something. And there's still 10 minutes. It wasn't long before young bad Clyde turned into stealing cars and became playing songs, a history for little Bonnie Parker. Also loved music growing up in Texas, and she loved to perform too, as well. They're both Texans, by the way, and both with passion to perform on stage. Let's go back when the time they met. Bonnie was a waitress in Dallas, Texas, that time. And when she was 19 and he was 20, but he already served some jail time for several offenses, including robberies, safe uh, cracking, and car theft. He was labeled as a hardened and bitter criminal. Wait, let's go a little back in time. Bonnie, when she was 4, her bricklayer father died, so her seamstress mother, named Emma, moved the rest of the family to the industrial suburb of Cement City, now known as West Dallas. In her second year high school, uh, she met fellow student named Roy Thornton. They dropped high school and married when she was 15. Yeah, she was 15 when they got married. The marriage didn't last, by the way. They separated in January 1929 and never saw each other again. She went back to her mother to live and found work as a waitress. She kept a diary in 1929 and wrote how lonely she was. Yeah, so she was writing on her diary how lonely she felt and how fed up she was of life in a suburb. Barrow, Clyde, his first arrest at the age of 17 for running away from police when he failed to return a hired car. He got involved in petty crime and was arrested again for being in possession of stolen turkeys. When they met, they there was an immediate connection, like uh, love at first sight. They met. They met by chance when they were visiting a mutual friend, Clarence Clay's home in West Dallas. She was said to be in the kitchen. She was making hot chocolate, and he dropped by. It's like, oh, hi, hi. So yeah, so they got connected. Like, to fast forward, Clyde had a number of legitimate jobs in 1927 to 1929, but he also robbed stores, cracked safes, and stole cars in his spare time. Bonnie, that time, got fired from her waitress work. The two became partners in crime. Most historians believe Parker fell in love with Barrow and remained loyal to him up to the end of his release from prison in February 1932. Barrow and another inmate forged assembled a criminal gang, including Bonnie Parker, to carry out a small robberies of gas stations and stores. They aim to raise money for firearms, to free the prisoners, to liberate other inmates from East Ham prison. Foltz was arrested with Parker at a failed hardware robbery or burglary. And Parker was released. They couldn't indict him. So she got released and joining with rejoining with Barrows, with Clyde, continuing their life of crime. Barrow had been a getaway driver and had remained outside in the car. They went on the run from the police, living by their wits and further robberies as they traveled across America. They robbed banks, gas stations, stores. They also made some kidnappings along the way or in between. Though they released those kidnapped victims, they even give them money and clothes, clean clothes, to get home. At April 1932, the store owner of Hillsboro, Texas, was shot dead during a robbery. Barrow had been a getaway driver and had remained outside in the car. They went on the run from the police, living by their wits and further robberies as they traveled across America. They robbed banks, gas stations, stores. They also made some kidnappings along the way. Most of the time, they release the victim and they will give money to them to get home. Apparently, when they escape a certain state, from state to state, the police cannot chase them right after. So I think when you run from outside the state, they cannot continue. So many of the raids ended in gang fights as they made their escape, and a total of 9 officers of law were killed in the shootouts, making them the U.S. most wanted criminals. The Texas police, people are watching. Texas police were so dedicated to get Bonnie and Clyde and the gang members. On Sunday, April 1st, 1934, Clyde and gang members Harry Matane killed a highway patrolman, H.P. Murphy, and Edward Bryan Wheeler in an intersection called Grapevine, Texas, which now called South Lake, Texas. An eyewitness said Bonnie and Clyde were the ones keeping firing the gun, and Bonnie was the one who killed the officers. But there's rumors saying Bonnie was sleeping in the car when it happened. So after this, the people put major pressure to the police to get them catch. Of course, they even put 1,000 reward for that. 1,000 reward that time. Probably that's big that time. While at this time, they're still kidnapping people, and they release them after and they even give money or clean clothes to get home. For some reason, they don't know. But after that, the victims went to the station, told them what happened, and the police tracked the location they went. So yeah, they snitch. Bonnie and Clyde were eventually caught and shot dead due to the persistence of the police. The car is waiting. It's scary. Anyway, they just opened. Look, this is my area. Okay, they just opened fire and shot 100 rounds. Ended up emptying all the weapons. Some people said 25 shots to each of one of them, but some said they got 50 shots each of them. When they opened the car, there's tons of memorabilia, huge collections of weapons, and 50 different plates from different states. Tons of people came to the scene. Uh, they just even getting memorabilia and collections from the car. And then uh, when there's 20,000 people went to the attended Bonnie's funeral. Just weird. So many flowers from different establishments. Maybe because they think that, or they thought that she was just so in love with Clyde and became loyal to him up to the end. The famous Ford V8 car. So the famous Ford V8 car, they were driving along with the shirt he's wearing at the time of his death has been kept inside the casino of Whiskey Pits in Nevada since 2011. In February 1935, they ended up arresting 20 family members for involving with Bonnie and Clyde. All were found guilty. The romantic story of Bonnie and Clyde was emphasized in the dramatized story of their life in so many different movies since then. I told you, Bonnie and Clyde. Why didn't you follow your dream? They were just so young when they died. But yeah, that's the story of Bonnie and Clyde. I thank you all guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great week ahead. Enjoy. Love you all. Bye.